history. You hear about this and you read about that. I don't want to look at Grumpy Cat. This is how to watch TV. What's that I hear? You hear the lost finale. It's not your fault that you can't see what we see. This is how to watch TV. I'll come up in network. This is how to watch TV. I'll come up in network. This is how to watch TV.
Westworld with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel.
I'm Jeremy, and we are brought to you by Comeuppance Network. You can check out all of our social media sites at thisishowtowatchtv.com. Also, check out all of our, or you can email us directly or indirectly at thisishowtowatchtv@gmail.com.
I would recommend that you check out all of the other shows on Comeuppance Network, aka our YouTube channel, and on iTunes, although I'm still having trouble with the feed, not gonna lie. That's stupid to mention on a podcast that will eventually be on the podcast feed.
Not stupid to mention is your Labyrinth t-shirt.
You like my Labyrinth t-shirt? Loot Crate.
Loot Crate? Nice.
Yep.
Like
Good
it.
stuff.
Should be getting another one soon.
What, another Loot Crate? Yeah,
I
just
got one
got
a couple
the
weeks
wrestling
ago.
one,
So
the
what's it come
WWE
out every
crate.
3 or 4 weeks? Every 4 weeks?
Every
pretty
month.
much on the dot?
Yeah, every month.
Yeah.
Usually towards the end of the month. It's like the 20th. They ship it on the 20th, usually.
Yeah, I think I got mine for this month already. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's just a box of geek stuff, and they're awesome.
Oh, good. It's like we're sponsored by them, except they're not paying us.
Well, no, I know that, but hey, if they want it,
No, I mean, it is really great. I would just tell them to tell you to buy Loot Crate anyway.
Yeah.
I got the WWE one because I like wrestling. Sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I enjoy wrestling a lot.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I did like watching Goldberg kick Brock Lesnar's ass. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that was pretty. I mean, you usually say that before, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, it was a live show. I don't
Right.
really count it like
Yeah,
live
those
shows. It's like a sporting event. Hey, it's on ESPN. It's a sporting event. You can't count spoilers for that.
There you go.
You should have watched it live. Am I wrong?
No,
Okay.
I'm with you on that. Well, with the advent of the WWE Network for only $9.99. Sorry, never mind.
No, we're not getting paid by that.
We're here to talk about Westworld Episode 8 of Season 1, Trace Decay. The synopsis was, Ford orders a reluctant Bernard to conduct business as usual. Maeve looks to change from the script for her storyline. Dolores finds it increasingly difficult to separate dreams from reality. Teddy is jarred by dark memories, while the man in black recalls some of the travails that brought him to this critical juncture.
So just right now, I didn't listen to any of that, but just right now I had an interesting thought as, what if
You have the attention span of a crackhead.
What if they're all hosts? Even Teresa was a host. What if like they're all hosts and he's just
Right, okay,
playing
so
a
what you...
huge ginormous game with every ginormous is such a stupid word to use. That's awful. You gotta cut that out. No. Just a huge game he's playing just for himself, just his own, just to play God. Just what if he's doing it all and just making these people feel these things and think.
I feel like his end game is more relating to what we've discussed many times, and that being his end game of wanting to download himself into one because he's getting so old. Him wanting to, I think that's more his end game than just playing in there. I think he's desperately trying to get to that moment.
He wants to be immortal.
Where he can transfer his consciousness over to one. I think that's why he's examining all the intricacies with Bernard so heavily, because he's trying to find that line between. I mean, he says that he doesn't, he didn't see it the same way that Arnold did.
Right.
But I think he's searching for that ultimately, that he wants to, maybe that's what he's creating down there, is, younger version of Ford. I don't think it's going to be Teresa at this point. They killed her off in the storyline too. Within the show.
No, yeah, that wouldn't work now because they said they staged her or that she fell and hit her head or
what's
whatever.
Her name? I had her written
Charlotte,
down
I think her
somewhere.
name is.
Oh, is it Charlotte? I just had the
I thought her
last
name was Charlotte.
Hale. It must be Charlotte Hale then, the young black chick that's running
the board member.
Right. Oh,
right.
She's a board member. Okay. For some reason, that never sticks. So, what do you think about Bernard? I mean, we talked about it last week a lot, but he authored his own emotions. He was saying that no human could grasp, and it was just like the color wheel before, like primary colors.
Well, that's what they were.
Could never figure out how to do any of the shades of gray, but him being a host, he was able to then figure it out, and he wrote a lot of his own emotions. That's fucking fascinating that Bernard would be able to do something that Ford couldn't do. I mean, I get that they're robots, so they should be able to do more.
When did he say that? Like, I must have missed.
Yeah,
like,
he was talking to him. He was talking to him about it when he was saying, you know, don't make me forget all this. The same thing that Maeve later said, where he was like, no, this is all I have left of her, of my wife and of my son. You know, please don't erase that. Don't take the pain away, and blah, blah, blah. He was telling him there that before Bernard, the emotions of people were angry. You know what I mean? Like, he was saying what
I remember that
and he said, he just said basically it was the primary colors version of a human.
I missed the part where he said that Bernard wrote the code for the...
He said, I built you because no human could do the job. He's like, I couldn't do it.
Oh,
I built you, and then now you could do it
okay.
because you were able to pick up on the nuances of it and figure out a way to code that. Just interesting that
there's an AI writing the codes for the AI
that eventually goes to himself. Yeah.
Wow.
So he didn't have those emotions when he was writing that code because he was writing the code for the emotions.
So then when did they get uploaded to him? It just automatically? Like, how did... So the Ford would just do that? Or what?
Presumably,
like
yeah.
In secret?
Or presumably he has other ones built specifically for the purpose of updating them. You know, there's any number of scenarios.
Like he showed us at one point...
Mike's going on there, so...
Where he had... Yeah, don't do that, sorry. Where he had... I saw a glob on my camera, so I just started wiping it. When he stopped everybody at the plantation-looking thing that he was at, where he met Teresa. It was back, I think it was like episode 4 or 5.
Right,
he was him and Teresa had a little altercation there, but he stopped everything and it was really creepy.
Yeah.
Like, how do we know that everybody there isn't just this thing?
She didn't stop at that moment towards the point of
it's just him running the entire show with the guests, and he's just playing these elaborate mind games with them just to fuck with them.
Well, but not guests.
Well, then the guests would be in, it's just all the hosts are under his control.
Well, I mean, that's that much is clear, but I don't know.
Or he's just giving them like their own like free will almost, just to see what they'll do. You know what I mean?
Try to fuck him over. Like that's what you said. Charlotte Hale or whatever. That's what she's thinking.
She wants him out.
Him and.
Well, no. I like the way he laughed in the last episode when they talked about the board.
Right.
Not going to stand for this. He's like, yeah.
Right, and the way he just like totally stopped her and was like, when he mentioned bringing Bernard back to work, that was like a fucking slap in her face. Like, clearly Bernard will be back now. We'll be hiring Bernard back.
Well, after Teresa?
After Teresa died, yeah.
Yeah, they just no emotion at all. Like.
Yeah, but I mean the way she was just like, you could tell she was like, fuck. Like, I knew this was coming. Like, I should have seen this coming, rather, is what Charlotte's feeling. Yeah, that they would take her out and that he would somehow find a way. She really thought she won. I think before this episode, she was like, oh, yeah, that's...
Well, she thought she had everything under... Yeah,
this
she's
is
a board member.
Done.
She's... yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Ford lied to him about never having asked him to hurt someone before. Because we saw a flash... Was that Elsie?
I think so.
So she's dead, then?
I think so.
What are the implications of that? I mean, first of all, why the fuck do we just get it in a little flashback like that? Why wouldn't we get any?
Because I think they're saving it. Because they're saving it. Or maybe she is held up somewhere. They didn't show her completely die for a reason. They're not just going to do that and be like, okay, she's dead. So we're supposed to think about it like that, but then she's going to pop back up later or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe this will be a case of them making the robot version with Elsie. And putting her back in play.
You don't think these people will be able to tell? Somebody like Stubbs, who's like paying attention?
What, that she was different? They would just give her the same personality she had.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to copy it completely. That's the thing that they're working on.
But you're assuming they're not monitoring every second that she's in their facility and developing an algorithm that's translating that into, bam, this is her.
True enough. Okay.
You know what I mean? They're probably examining everything.
Or, like I said, or they're all already... I gotta quit saying that, I guess. They're all already hosts. she's a host. Everybody that works there is a host, and everybody's doing it, and he's just
maybe for example, if Teresa were
in the board.
So if Teresa were, then why couldn't the board be? Who's to say they leave?
They couldn't, but there could be. That would be the outside force.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no reason. I guess it would just be like
him just sitting back playing with the puppet strings, laughing at the end. Just basically playing God and seeing what'll happen once he pits these people against each other. Or this and that. I don't know. Maybe that's too easy. I guess.
Right. So I did like the Hemsworth, the cheapest Hemsworth, that he seemed baffled at Bernard pretending like he didn't know.
He seems like the oldest Hemsworth too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was the one that got passed up for all the roles, and now they're coming back to him because the other Hemsworths are busy.
I said that to Jenna. I was like, he's a Hemsworth. She was like, oh yeah, definitely. It didn't take her a second.
Right. But he was baffled because he's like, look, I know about you and Teresa. And he's like, what do you mean?
Well, it was a dead giveaway for him to investigate now.
Right.
He's going to be looking into that shit because he's going to be...
So you were saying, wouldn't he notice? No. He wouldn't notice, man. He's worked with Bernard all this time, and he never noticed Bernard was one.
True enough, but now he is. That there's something...
Now he knows that there's something wrong, which could lead him to go, well, why wouldn't he... Oh, they wiped him.
Yeah.
He's one... Oh, you know what I mean? Like, he'd have that... But he all this time...
How didn't they see it? Well, that just means that Ford is really good at what he does.
Right. But so anybody could be.
I guess that's my point. Yeah, that's what I keep saying.
With Bernard, they illustrated that the fucking person... we knew that the hosts didn't know whether they're hosts or not.
Hashtag, are you a host?
Right. Hashtag, are you a host? Is that just the letter R, the letter U, the letter A, and then host?
Host, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Just shorten it.
Hashtag, are you a host?
All right. Rua host. Rua
host.
Rua host. Stupid. What do you think about Maeve's storyline?
I mean, it's one of the most interesting in the show, definitely.
Right. I thought she was going to be such a lame character. I thought she was going to be an afterthought, honestly.
Really?
I thought she was going to be a character that, like, you had to put up with. I mean, come on. We're supposed to be the most interested off the bat in the oldest whore. Like, that was the first impression of her was like, oh, she's the one that's...
She's the madam.
She might be close to losing her... You know what I mean?
She's the one who runs the whorehouse. She's the madam.
Yeah. But, like, I guess I felt bad in that respect where it was like, oh, you're starting to get older and then the guys are going to choose the younger girls kind of thing. Well, yeah. In that profession, that's the biggest... I would imagine that's the biggest hurdle you got to overcome is age.
Age, yeah.
So, like, it was like, oh, they're going to use her for, like, a little sad plot, and then that'll be it. Like...
No, but her plot's been, like I said, one of the most interesting.
Right.
She's one of the ones that's coming... And nobody seemed to have caught on yet.
Okay.
And she's got these
Do you think it's possible she makes it out? Do you think that that's even possible, assuming she gets the surgery?
See, that's when I think you come into one of those crazy moments where she does make it out, but there's nothing there.
Or she's not out.
Or she's not out, right.
Yeah.
But they have the explosive.
I feel like it's going to be like The Prisoner in that regard.
Or did they take that out? They didn't take that out in this episode, right?
What?
The explosive embedded in the base of their spine or whatever?
No, but she seemed to think it was.
That it was gone?
I think so, because she was actively talking about then getting out.
No, maybe he did do it.
Maybe that was the procedure that they did. Yeah, because they had to go upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did do whatever then.
Right. No, so now she's free to get out.
And she can kill people.
Well, she didn't
She can kill guests, but she was. They were never intended to leave a mark, as they said. Like, that's what Man in Black said.
A lasting mark.
A lasting mark. And that dude's going to have a fucking scar on his throat.
Well, that's because he...
Yeah, but no, those things...
He would have led to
those
death.
Things...
You're right, she totally...
Yeah, she killed him, but the other dude saved him.
Right.
But using the same tech they used to cure the hosts.
Right.
So who's to say he's not one? So maybe she's not capable of hurting... You know, I mean, maybe... You know what I mean? Maybe she's still not capable of hurting people.
So we're just going to call this episode of the podcast... Are you a host?
Jesus fucking Christ. Who isn't a host? The House of the Rising Sun on the piano.
But they're all legitimate questions. Every time you say that, it's like... Yeah, okay, that could be.
Right.
You can't like shoot it down, really.
They've done a good job in the mystery aspect of the show.
I really like it. Yeah.
House of the Rising Sun was the piano song this
beautiful.
time. Amazing.
There was another one later on in the
version.
episode too. That's a favorite song of my wife's.
Oh, what was it?
Back to Black. Amy Winehouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize that one. I was like, oh, this must just be like a, one of the original songs, but I guess it was that.
I can't remember who it was that was on screen during it, but I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I had to go upstairs to Jenna and see if I'd seen that.
So Maeve seems to have a feeling of boredom in Westworld now. Doesn't she seem like, okay, well,
she's just going through the motions, because she knows she's dying and coming back. There's no fear. Like, she does it on purpose.
Well, but not even, there's no fear. Just like, she's like, this place is not getting me closer to what I want.
Right.
So I need to fucking die immediately.
Right, and she keeps doing it. And even if they warn her, they're going to notice. You keep coming back here every 24 hours. They're going to notice,
Did you notice the Lost reference?
Maybe not.
The failsafe?
No.
In her spine? That's
just
two. I didn't even
that.
think about that one. That's two Lost references. The failsafe key, and in the spine. Linus? Ben?
Oh, his cancer is in the spine.
Yeah. The army that she's talking about is obviously going to be the decommissioned ones on level B-82 or whatever.
Obviously.
Right, that couldn't be more clear.
Right.
She's writing her own story. She asks about dormant parts.
You can't tell me that you didn't think about Attack on Titan in that scene. Did that not even cross your mind?
Yes. Oh, the way they were standing.
When they're all standing there and they look all creepy and naked and fucking weird looking and their hair's all fucked up. Come on, man.
They're like greasy.
I know, but when you're watching that episode, you can't imagine that a Titan wouldn't be greasy. It looked like it would be greasy.
For sure.
They'd be nasty.
No, I was just meaning that another descriptive thing there.
I think
so sweaty.
The way you can see their veins and shit, like they're all pale and weird looking. It as soon as I see that scene with all of them standing there, I'm like, dude, that looks like Attack on Titan. All they're missing is the big stupid fucking grins on their face.
You see that thing I sent you?
Yeah, no, I didn't look at it.
No, I mean just.
No, I saw it. I saw what you said, and I didn't want to look at it.
I didn't click it either. It was just a screenshot. You couldn't click it even if you wanted to.
I didn't know. I know you wouldn't send me that, but I didn't. I didn't even click on it.
I saw things like, exactly what's in the basement? I'm like,
I was like, no, don't want to know.
No, I want to know, but I don't
want to know, but I want to be told by the right means. I don't want to. I don't want to find out
read that shit.
Some fucking YouTube video.
Okay, so she's asking about dormant parts of herself and Arnold. Maeve was. Just little things that I had thought were of note, that she was asking about that shit. Dormant parts. What could that mean? Shit that she used back in the day, technology-wise, inside her?
Or, like, shit she learned in the past life or whatever,
like muting a part of her.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense, too.
She learned
But
this
she's
thing.
mentioning Arnold, too. Like, Arnold has to be a fucking thing. It has to be a trick. Like, it can't be what everybody's assuming it's going to be.
Like, at this point, again,
it's almost Arnold be a host?
Okay, I'm going for your fucking Lost reference, but it's almost like Man in Black not having a name. At what point there's not a person that's going to jump out and be like, I'm Arnold.
And you're going to be like, what?
And it's going to be somebody that we don't recognize, and you're not going to get any, like, out of that. Like, if it could, like, what I'm saying about Man in Black is if some Man in Black were like, my name's Brian. Like, nobody would been like, he was just Man in Black. He didn't need a name. His name was Man in Black. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's almost the same kind of thing. Like, you at this point, whoever, unless it pops out to be like,
what if it's William?
That's what I mean.
What if William's Arnold?
But because why? He would have been involved with developing the whole thing. Arnold's been involved with developing the whole thing.
Fair enough.
So that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense unless... No. I was just trying to think of a twist with the...
What did you think about Ed Harris's little speech about being, like, a god and a titan of industry and, like... So, like, that's even more confirmation that he's some big shit out in the world.
But remember what was happening, the power struggle with Logan and William?
Right.
He was talking about how his family was thinking about even buying the park and blah, blah. Like, they're rich as fuck. Right. So he could have just maneuvered through all of this, through the stuff that happens in Westworld, because he's like, fuck Logan at this point.
Well, up until Logan shows up.
Well, yeah, but he's still like, fuck Logan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're back on a team again together. So he's just going to take Logan's spot. Right. He's going to learn how to be ruthless outside of there.
Well, he's going to have to be. Yeah, to get his way out
Although
of this.
he said... I'm saying he said... Sorry, I'm trying to keep my opinion that the William Man in Black thing is the case distinct from...
I've said in the past podcast, probably every podcast, that it's difficult to talk about the show... Without
saying both versions.
Without saying both versions, because it changes the way you think about it.
Right.
So I didn't mean to throw you off course there.
No, but I mean... Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that.
You were saying with keeping your opinion to yourself.
Well, yeah, because he... I was saying that Man in Black said something later about how outside of there, his wife didn't know how he was, but she knew. No, I know, but he was saying that over the past, and he said 30 years.
Oh, Ed Harris.
Did you catch that? He said 30 years I was married. And if you remember, he was going to marry Logan's sister.
Right.
Shortly after this was like his bachelor party.
Right.
So 30 years later, I mean, it's almost like there has to be a bigger twist because that's so obvious at this point, right? Like, aren't they shoving it in our face that that's going to be the case?
Well, the whole question she asked too, when are we? I was like, oh, come on.
Right. You know? That felt, again, very Lost-ish.
Right.
I don't know. I want to compare it, and I also don't want to compare it because... In some ways, nothing's ever going to compare because I just love it in such a special way. But,
well, that's your own fault.
Well, yeah, because it's awesome and it deserves it.
No, you're right. You're totally right.
It's so good.
I only.
I know see, this is where you take pleasure in my displeasure. I'm telling you.
But you don't show displeasure, so there's really not much pleasure.
Well, I'm fine. Right. I'm not happy.
And there's no way that I can I know enough about Lost to stump you in any way to be like, I got you. I can't do that to you. So I know you love it and I tease you about it, which is basically all that is.
Well, in the vein of...
But it is odd. Lost was fantastic. I mean, really. To me, it's one of the greatest stories ever told across any medium. It really is awesome. If you haven't watched it, watch it. But don't watch chronologically Lost first. Watch that, and then watch chronologically Lost. And then watch.
I got a new edit. Somebody re-edited the final season into a 4-part miniseries. It's 8 hours. It's 4.
You've told me about that before.
I just found it the other day.
Or somebody did something similar to that.
Again, I don't want to spoil Lost, but somebody re-edited it. That was taking out the sideways. This is a different thing where they're just re-editing how we learn the information about certain characters. I watched 5 minutes of it. I'm like, this is cool.
How are you not doing any of this?
I don't know. It sounds
I'm surprised
amazing.
that it's not like you were the one that's re-editing it into how are you not re-editing a fucking HD version of Chronologically Lost? How are you not already working on that?
I don't know.
You're going to text me tomorrow, working on Chronologically Lost re-edit HD.
Right. Okay, so back to Westworld.
It's consuming your brain as we speak. I already can see it in your face.
Of course, I'm going to start an HD version. I thought we finally had proof of Man in Black is William, because the girl that welcomed William, when he got off of the train, not the one into Westworld, but the one to the building, the facility that was bright white and the old logo.
They go in the
train station basically.
The train, but they go into the room, and they get dressed and pick out their weapon and hat.
Okay, so they're in the mountain at this point, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That girl was the one that was beaten up and almost dead with Man in Black and Teddy. Then, when Dolores made it to the town that she said was her home, that girl walked by. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, confirmation. It's confirmation that the two things are happening at a different time. Because if that girl is happy and looks, neat and clean...
Okay.
Then that happened 30 years ago, and boom, the one with Man in Black is happening in the present.
Okay.
And that she's all beat up because she's been around. Man in Black even says to her, I would have thought they would have retired you by now.
I thought they retired. He did say that to her.
Right.
So then, explain this picture then.
This is when Dolores walked into town.
Walked into what town?
Her town. She said, I'm home. It actually exists. And she walked into that town, and then we saw fucking Maeve being trained on how to dance by somebody in a white coat. I'm like, holy fucking shit, this confirms everything. And then it was in her head.
Yeah.
Frustrating in that regard. Cause
but then it was like...
But was it? Or is she remembering something that actually happened? And if so, would that put it further back in time? Or does that...
Or...
Go on.
Or is she already in the future, but reliving the past in one of the, like, rebuilds? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her, like...
What, like her
like
present?
No. Her present is our present. We just don't see that.
We're still assuming the Man in Black is present.
She's experiencing like a flashback into like her beginning time with William.
Okay.
Like, which is all this is it's all in Dolores' head.
But again, that's assuming that that it is Man in Black is William.
That's again the same thing.
Right.
So it's not necessarily we're just reliving it through Dolores.
I get that that if you're one side or the other.
I don't even know if I explained that how it was happening in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I had it. Like, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, okay, so Man in Black and Teddy. Y'all right there, Vape Master 5000? Thanks. And I can't even see my sweet new iPad Pro.
I'm sorry, I did that on purpose. Candy smog infecting me.
Right.
You were quiet for a second, so I thought I'd take a vape.
That's fine. Yeah, that's the best time when nobody's talking, so you can just hear that.
You mean this?
I mean, that was a pretty good impression, you gotta be honest. That was a decent impression for never having done it before. I made sure to have the little at separate times, like clicking in there. Let's see. So I paused.
So for those of you that are still with us after that grossness,
right.
Moving on.
So after Man in Black said to her, "I thought they retired you," I paused as he started dragging her to type, "Oh, he's dragging her like he dragged Dolores," and then it fucking cut to the thing. Or he was dragging the bull person. What the fuck was that? Somebody just wearing a bull head? Or was that my nightmare? Man. Is that a nightmare of like some sort of bull creature AI?
Those are Wyatt's men dressed up wearing masks.
Okay, so they're just wearing weird shit. I mean, we didn't know at that point yet. I mean, we just knew it was
they come out of the fucking woods later.
Right. If that didn't remind you of a scene on Lost, then you need to rewatch that show.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Jan on the beach, and seeing them, and then it was like, boom, end of the episode. I'm like, what?
Seeing the back half of the plane,
right?
Echo and them standing there. Yeah, absolutely.
That was like, what the fuck is going on now? They're all weird. I mean,
I even get good goosebumps talking about Lost sometimes, so I'm not going to deny that I love it too.
You need to watch it again.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, you've watched chronologically enough that it should make you get your feet back, dip your toes back into the waters.
See, I don't like watching it like that, though.
I mean,
it's just that I haven't been watching.
If you had watched every one, you'd be like, okay,
yeah. I just like I see it sometimes, and I get confused, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they did a really good job of keeping everybody. Or they just did they film like all the I don't know.
They had a continuity.
I'll join a chronologically Lost podcast towards the end, and I'll just like ask you guys questions, and we'll just sit and bullshit about the whole thing. You know, you still got 50 more episodes to do,
something like that. Yeah, just about.
Are you halfway through yet?
Yeah, we're more than halfway. We just finished episode 57.
Okay,
we're doing 58 tomorrow. On Friday.
There's 100.
There's 101.
101. Is there 101 episodes of Lost?
There's 120 episodes of Lost.
There's 120 episodes.
So this one, they edited it in a way that like a storyline would complete in the episode for the most part.
So does that bug you that Game of Thrones is not going to be at least 100 episodes?
It bugs me in the sense that they were able to, if Lost had the opportunity, as much as at the time I would have hated it, if they had the ability to take season 1 and squish it into 18 episodes, it would have been a better product, no question.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Especially season 2 and 3.
Those are really elongated. We're like 23
3
episodes.
should have been 18. If 3 could have been 18, I don't think there would have been that lull. We would have never got Stranger in a Strange Land, and you know what I mean? We wouldn't have had the lull there.
So is that like universally the worst?
That's universally the worst episode of Lost. I mean,
what's
it's not
universally the best episode of Lost?
The Constant. Instantly. Okay. Yeah, I mean, no question.
Honestly, that's my favorite episode. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sorry. Back to the show we're talking about. I don't know, man. When he said he was married for 30 years, I just thought, was he married to a host? Like, I'm just trying to think of any sort of fucking connection that could exist there. Okay.
Sorry, I did
fine. Sizemore. What do you think of that storyline?
It's one of the lesser storylines, but I think he's going to play a bigger role later.
Right. He thinks he's working on Wyatt.
Yeah.
Do you think he's working on Wyatt? Or do you think...
Oh, he thought he was working on the villain. Like, he's just working on a piece of shit. I remember that scene now. The guy eating the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not Wyatt.
I don't think it is Wyatt.
No.
So then, what was the deal with them going down to the cold storage? Or what used to be cold storage? Why did they go down there and pick of all the hosts fucking Abernathy? The one that's like, I will fucking end you, in biblical words.
Didn't she say something about they were uploading some sort of amount of information?
Like everything or something.
Is that what it was? How did they get it? I missed the part where they got that. How did they acquire that?
I will say, jumping back to Bernard real quick, I want that piece of technology where you can wipe yourself out of a video with 2 swipes.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I want that now. That would be fucking amazing. You could just wipe camera people out of shots.
I mean, they did it on camera.
What? They did it on camera?
They did it on camera.
What do you mean?
Like it was on camera.
Like it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's easy enough to do with green screens. I want to do it in real life. I could do that. That actually is doable. I'm totally going to make that happen.
I'd like to see this. Please, make us rich.
In a video?
I just want to be attached.
Just make you disappear?
No, don't do that. I don't want to disappear.
You don't want to disappear?
No. Please don't make me disappear.
Anyway,
tangent.
I thought it was fucked up that they ended up picking Abernathy. Like, he's going to...
But again, back to my question. Where did they acquire this information? Or were they setting it up to...
What do you mean? She was above Teresa. Yeah, and Teresa had all that access, and then Bernard was given it, wasn't he?
But none of it was backed up off-site, is what they said. Like, how did they get... Is that the information...
Do you think that thing was her? Was Charlotte?
What?
The little... the radio... I mean, the satellite transmitter thing?
That's what I'm asking. Is that where this information is from?
Oh, like, had it been collecting everything, and then that what it was trying to export is what they're trying to...
And there's just no safe way to do it, to move it, because you can't...
That's possible.
There's no... the only thing big enough to do it was one of these things' brains to upload it in there. So he's going to be uploaded with all the storylines.
Right.
And all the personalities.
And so he's going to remember that he was able to see the picture for some reason.
He's going to go insane.
Dude, that's what... You remember that, the picture thing. That's what drove him crazy. Is when he found the picture in New York and he could see it for some reason. Yeah. Even though they're programmed not to see shit. So what the fuck was that about? Like, I feel like I hope that there's a big twist coming. I hope... Because along the way, there's been very few things we've been able to predict. For real. Like, actual predictions, no. For the most part, it's taken subtle turns in directions that I don't see coming. And I'm loving that so far. I'm not excited about the potential for... I keep thinking that the Man in Black William thing is a go, because otherwise they're going to have to continue one or both of their stories beyond this season. Now, I want them to continue that story. I don't want Jimmy Simpson to not be the character on the show anymore. However, I fear that storyline is going to get wrapped up and we're going to be back in the present, and Man in Black will either carry on to the next level or whatever. Or or it'll just be some other thing. I'm simultaneously concerned and want it to surprise me.
I mean, I want to be surprised. And I think we have been pretty well. I mean, you called Bernard being a host a long time ago, or somebody did.
Well, we were talking about it, after one of the podcasts.
So that really didn't, surprise me. But it's cool to, that stuff to be confirmed. Like, when he was like, what door? I was like, oh, shit.
Right, and here's the other takeaway from that, is that we now cannot trust the camera.
True enough, right.
We can't trust the camera point of view. What we're seeing is what they want us to see.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, they could put anything or be hiding anything and then later just reveal, oh, yeah, this thing was there the whole time. Somebody theorized online, what if they were building Elsie down in there and it wasn't Teresa? So they were going to try to put trying to put her back in play as herself.
Right.
We'll find that out soon, I guess.
Like I'm saying, like they just showed that flash for a reason.
Bernard said she was gone on vacation or using personal time or something like that. So I think that she's going to be back on that actress is going to be back on the show as a host. And that was the one that we were seeing built down there and
in private.
Right.
Right. But that's a new style host, not an old one.
Right.
Like an old design with the robotics and sophisticated robotics on the inside.
I'm excited for the Arnold reveal / twist, but I'm hoping it lives up to what I'm imagining. There's got to be something. It can't just be, oh, and here was his partner and he's still alive, or here was his partner and he's dead, or here he uploaded his consciousness. That would be okay. I'd be okay with that. His partner uploaded his consciousness to a host.
I think that's more along the lines of
that's the secret that Ford is trying to get to, is how to do that.
Okay.
Right?
That makes more sense than anything right there. Is that it's not just going to be any one person. Like I said, it's just going to be a thing. He's uploaded his consciousness, and he can be anywhere, anytime, like...
Right, yeah. Fuck, man. Do you think Maeve can leave the park after she gets the thing taken out? Like,
what else would prevent her besides...
Do you think that's supposed to be happening? Do you think that she's doing this sentiently, or do you think she's doing this based on some coding? Like, she was writing her own story, man. Like, that's fucking weird.
Dude, the way she was controlling the host.
What does that mean?
See, she was controlling the host and everything, kind of like Ford does.
Fuck, I had that written down, yeah.
Yeah.
She was Fording.
Yeah, there you go. She was controlling the host and, like, controlling the storyline.
Would whisper shit and, like... Yeah. I was surprised that she let them take her when they finally did catch up to her in her room.
Because those weren't hosts then.
Right, they were the outside people. Right, okay, yeah.
Or did she want to get taken?
Probably wanted to get taken.
She always wanted to get taken.
She wants to be in that...
But now she's malfunctioning, so like... Or they think she is. They cut onto her.
Right.
So who knows what her goal is? I
want to know.
Me too.
I bet you that... I hope that's one that kind of trails over to the next season.
Me too, yeah, absolutely.
I hope that we don't... Here's what I don't want.
Because she's been one of the most interesting ones.
Have you ever seen American Horror Story?
Which one?
The show.
Well, yeah, but which season?
Any of them.
Yeah, I've seen
multiple
the first
seasons.
3 of them, probably.
Okay. I don't want a show like that.
I quit off of after... No, where you come back to a whole separate storyline.
But with the same actors.
Isn't there...
Imagine if they repurposed them and put them into Roman World. I know we use that example. It's just as an example. Like, they take
I wouldn't
the
mind
same
them see
actors,
going into Roman World.
But I don't want to see
them... Not to be different characters.
I don't want to see Dolores, the actress that's playing her, be, Raquel in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want that. I don't like those shows because they don't feel like the stakes matter. American Horror Story season 1 and 2 were great, but after that, it was like, who cares who dies? They'll just be back next year as somebody else.
Right.
It takes something away from it, and it feels like nobody dying, there's no real stakes. I don't know. And I don't want that for this show, because I want this show to matter. I don't want the creators
first season of American Horror Story
was
pretty spectacular.
It was great.
Even the second one. Was the second one?
Briarcliff. Briarcliff, the insane asylum.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch that one.
Oh, that was great.
I think we watched the 3rd season, though, but that was terrible.
The 3rd season was Witches.
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh, fuck that one.
Yeah. I haven't watched since then.
No. Yeah. No, I didn't watch. I watched a little bit of Freak Show in season 4.
I did watch a little bit of that till Vic Mackey came on there, and he was bad.
As soon as they killed off Twisty, I'm just like, okay, fuck it, I'm out. You had this awesome character of the clown, and they killed him off in, like, episode 4. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why? What are you doing? You have 8 more episodes. What the fuck?
Right.
And Andy from my work just told me this season was like, he's like, I tried, I keep trying every year, and I watch it, and the end was just like, meh. I don't want that for Westworld. I want Westworld to be.
They can't do that. That's not. What
I don't want the creators to be being lazy and making mistakes, because if you want to be like Lost, that's not something you get to do.
I don't want to see.
I want it to end up on that list, man. I want this show to end up on the list with Lost, Game of Thrones, shit like that.
Me too.
Like I want it to be.
I want it to be that good, but I don't want to lose either.
I don't want to lose any of the actors, really.
I don't want to lose Anthony Hopkins or Ed Harris or anybody like that. Like, dude, to me, this is just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I am not a movie critic. I've seen a few of both of their movies.
We just like talking about shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That's our credentials. We watch stuff.
I've seen a few of both of their movies. Yeah. Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris. I like them both, but to me, and I don't know, a prisoner of the moment or whatever you want to call me, but dude, they're great in this shit. Like I said, Anthony Hopkins monologue, Ed Harris tied up telling his stories, and they were fantastic. Dude, they were riveting. Like, I was sitting there staring at the screen while they're telling their stories. Or
Like, tell me more.
I was like, I couldn't get enough of Anthony Hopkins in the end of last episode. He was good in this episode too, but his monologue right before Teresa was good was fucking bone chilling.
Because we get information, we get this information dump that we don't know. You know, they just tell you a bunch of stuff, and you're like, "What? Okay, I want to know more. Can I just listen to Ford in character talk for an hour?
Yeah,
like I would do that. Just tell me everything you know."
Ed Harris too. Just listening to the Man in Black talk.
It could easily take an hour for him to tell me everything about the
slitting your throat or something like that. Right.
Okay. Well, Walking Dead. We'll be back probably mid-season break or closer to that. It doesn't feel like the pace is.
It's going to pick up probably the pace in the next 4 episodes or so. But we talked about the first 4, right?
We've talked about the first 4. We'll probably just come back and talk about the final.
Next 4.
The next 4 in one podcast in a few weeks. We'll be back next week to talk about the show before the finale. The week before
there's just not that much like twisty turny mystery stuff in The Walking Dead. It's pretty straightforward, you know what I'm saying? But
we're so invested in the characters
very,
at this point. We need to talk about it.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
Again, this is just I need to discuss this show anyway, so we may as well record it.
Keep sipping on an empty can of pop. That's something a crackhead would do.
This is how to watch TV.
See you later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.